Aphrodite, ancient Greek goddess of sexual love and beauty, identified by the name Venus by the Romans. This Greek word means aphros, meaning foam. That's exactly how she was born. Aphrodite was born from the white foam produced by the severed genitals of Uranus, heaven. At them times, the son was usually overthrown the father. And not only did they take their place, but they usually killed them. With that being said, if the dad was smart, he would take his youngin out before they got older and overpowered them and dethroned them. This was no different. Actually, he took it a step further and just tried to chop his old man wee-wee off, you know. Threw the genitals in the ocean, and that's how Aphrodite arose. Good evening. Welcome back to Mythology Talk. My name is Eddie Steady 214. Today we have Aphrodite. Aphrodite was the most beautiful in the land, the most beautiful goddess and mortal, all around. Back in those days, she was the cream of the crop. She was a bad mama jamma, if you will. This is some of the story of the beautiful goddess of love, Aphrodite. Aphrodite, how many kids did she have? Who was she with at the time? Was she creeping off on who she with? We're going to get into all that. First, let's start off at the beginning. Like I say, she arose from foam. Aphros is the Greek word meaning foam. And Aphrodite, if you look at the name Aphrodite, it's also a beauty. If you want some jewelry, if you want to open up a jewelry store, you'll see a lot of the name Aphrodite. Also the goddess of love and fertility. So also she was presided over marriage back in those days. And so if you wanted in love with somebody and you wanted to know if their feelings were true to you also, you might want to see a person like Aphrodite. Goddess of love is very powerful. You know, love is a very powerful thing. And that a lot of people will do strange things for love. A lot of people can't find love. Love is one of those things that don't matter how much money you have. It strikes you no matter how much money, no matter your race, no matter your... Love is one of those things you just have to have. Back in those days, even though she presided over marriage, and although prostitutes considered Aphrodite their patron, her public cult was generally praised, and Aphrodite was loved. Many people believe that Aphrodite was very nice, and some people would say she was the daughter of Zeus, but different strokes for different folks. I really see her as a cousin. Also, Aphrodite's had one of the most famous sons in Eros, who is Cupid, the goddess of love. Well, who was she with back in them days? You know, this kind of talks about like, kind of reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. Aphrodite was with one of the ugliest people back in those days. Zeus's son, Hephaestus. They say that boy Hephaestus was ugly as heck, man. They say that boy, he's one of them types that just get scored on nowadays. Everybody would just be laughing at him and just I ain't gonna say no names, but there's a person out there right now who got one of the baddest uh, wives in the game, and they say he's so ugly. How did he get a female like that? But hey, that just goes to show. This happened even back in the days in mythology. He was a blacksmith, so he created stuff. Someone who's so talented and create things. Even back in them days, they had the baddest females in the game. But with that being said, Aphrodite wasn't happy with him. She had her eyes on another gentleman. Who did she have her eyes on? She had her eyes on Ares. Ares, the god of war. The guy who looked like a very handsome, very smooth war general. This guy, built like a wrestler. Swole as heck, bodybuilder type looking. But also easy on the eyes, good looking in the face, they say. They say the guy's very handsome. So that's who Aphrodite had her eyes on. And Hephaestus, they say he worked at night. While he out trying to make money, she creeping Ares through the window. She getting the rocks off by Ares. She cheating on Hephaestus. Well, little did she know that Helios, god of the sun, he way up high. He's higher than everybody else. He's sitting up high like a security camera. He just looking at everything. And what does he see? He see Aphrodite and Ares going at it. Now he know this ain't right. Also, he might have been mad it ain't him. A lot of people was hating on the boy Ares. They was mad that he was good looking and doing this thing, but also he got Aphrodite. That was a thing back then. It's like, wow, you got her? So I'm pretty sure anybody who's seen it was hating. So Aphrodite and Ares, their actions got Helios to run back and tell Hephaestus what was going on. Told him, hey man, just leave work early one night. Go home early. You know what I'm saying? Leave work early one night. Thank me later. He went home, he caught him in the bed. When he caught him, I'm pretty sure he sent a roar that woke up the whole Olympus. And they went to go see what was going on. So now all the gods can see. Everybody can see. Wow, Aphrodite. You low down, dirty son of a gun. You done cheated on this ugly boy Hephaestus like that. And I'm pretty sure all the gods was hating because it wasn't them in that bed. Like I say, everybody wanted her. So, with all the gods looking and wanting her, she's sitting up there looking good like a snack. The little sneaky fella, Hermes, the messenger of the gods, we got to get to him. The kinfolk of Apollo. He's one of the sneakiest gods, running around playing jokes on everybody. Would take people's prized possessions. I heard he even took Poseidon's trident, hid it from him. Took known items that you know in mythology, like Poseidon's trident and the dog toy of Cerberus, Hades' dog, and just different items. He would hide them from people. Hermes is a little sneaky son of a gun. Well, he seen Aphrodite in all her nakedness looking good like a snack. And I'm pretty sure he winked at her. She seen him and probably gave him that look like, call me later. Well, they hooked up. That's how she had one of her kids. Aphrodite had a kid called Hermaphrodite. That's where we get that word from. And their baby was half boy, half girl. Maybe getting to where you have people that's a boy, but they don't feel that way. You got a girl, they don't feel that way. They feel like, going along them lines. Maybe that's what that is. That goes back way back in the Greek mythology. Moving on. Aphrodite, I'm sure she left Mount Olympus, took her a break, her and Ares, embarrassed. Um, Very embarrassed. But then at the end of the day, Ares, I'm pretty sure, wasn't embarrassed because he got to do something that everybody wanted to do. So, with that being said, I'm pretty sure he wasn't embarrassed up under that net because they caught him in a net like they was some fish. Um, they were laughed at. They were told him to stay off Olympus too. They tried to ban him off of there, but it didn't work. Now, we got to get into Aphrodite had about 6 or 7 kids. But one of the most known is the hermaphrodite and Eros.